Hey, Wild fans. Glad to be joined today by the newest member of the Iowa Wild organization. He is Iowa Wild goaltending coach Richard Bachman. Richard, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. I'm doing really well. Just enjoying Colorado, but looking forward to getting started there in Iowa soon.
Well, congratulations on the new job. What was the interview process like? I mean, you just finished playing literally a couple of months ago, and here you are already into the coaching ranks.
Yeah, it's a crazy little process, and hockey's such a small world. It's something I've been thinking about over the last few seasons. As you get up there in age, you kind of start looking towards life after playing. And I was kind of told myself, if I can go into the coaching path at such a high level right away, that it would be a no-brainer for me to take this opportunity and run with it. And having a background working with Freddie Chabot in Edmonton, and just through that small hockey world of having connections, I heard the job was available and sent in a resume, and kind of from there just connected really well with the coaching staff. And I've had the relationship with Freddie in the past, and it just kind of gelled, and it was pretty seamless process. But I'm excited that it's official now, and we can get started working.
The 1920 season, you got a couple games in Utica where you'd been previously as well. Then, Vancouver loans you to Sweden, if I'm following the transactions correctly. You got a few games in Sweden. But sort of sum up last year for you, your last year playing, you mentioned you had thought about possibly coaching at some point, but I know as a player, goalie, skater, whatever, at some point, it's always a hard decision to make, when's the right time?
Yeah, for me, last year was such a up and down year as far as playing. The previous season around Christmas time, I had a real bad Achilles tendon injury that put me out for 9 months. And it was kind of during that time that I realized, which I'm fortunate it took 10 years to realize it, but careers can end pretty quick. There can be crazy injuries, stuff out of your control. And so that kind of got me thinking about the other side from playing. And I love the game so much, and I still want to win, and I want to be able to win championships. And so the coaching side seemed like a great fit and something I've always been interested in. Over the last 5 years, I've done camps and some private lessons here in Colorado. And so it was a difficult decision to not play again, but it felt like the right decision, the right time in my life with my family, with where we're at, to begin this new path and new career. And like I said, it just kind of gelled together great, and I had a great connection with everyone. So it made the decision really easy, actually.
Chatting today with the 33-year-old Richard Bachman, new Iowa Wild goaltending coach, 49 career NHL games, almost or roughly 300, I should say, between regular season and Calder Cup playoff games at the AHL level. So you know the American League very well. You've played in Wells Fargo Arena. You played junior hockey in Iowa and Cedar Rapids as well. But I want to ask you about goaltending and the development process. You've been there. You've come up from the ECHL all the way to the top of the food chain, the NHL. But can you give our fans two or three things that are really important for goalies in the minor league system at the AHL level as far as development and improvement go?
Yeah, once you get to this level, I mean, most of your goalies, they're technically already really good. They're some of the best goalies in the world. And to me, that development process comes with maturing. They need to learn the pro game, not only at the rink with the higher level, more skilled players, bigger players, but it's life outside of the rink as well. And it's about maturing and growing up and turning into a true professional and taking care of yourself in and away from the rink. And I think that's number one. And then I think the big advantage I have is, like you said, I've gone from the ECHL to the American League to the NHL. I've been up for 2 days in the NHL. I've been up for 3 months at a time. I've been sent back when you've played well. I've sent back when you haven't played well. And it's maintaining that even keel and developing a strong mental fortitude to withstand a long pro season with a lot of different changes. And it's not just the goalies too. It goes for the players as well. You look at the American League and you get to a typical season where it's January, February, and you could be playing with 6 guys that were on your starting roster due to injuries and call-ups. And it's those experiences, I think, that I can bring and help to mentor these guys to get through some of those more difficult times that they probably haven't faced yet in their young careers.
How will you try and get to know some of the goalies in the Minnesota system?
Yeah, so that process has already begun a little bit through the interview process, but I've seen the three main guys in pro and a little bit of Hunter Jones on video, and so just starting to establish a little bit of how they play the game and what their tendencies are. And for me, it's just about building a foundation of trust and openness. I want to be a guy they can rely on to come talk to whenever they need anything, again, in and away from the rink. And I think it's building that trust and having it's such an isolated position, having someone on your side constantly that's been through a lot of it myself to try and just help them have a smooth year and a consistent year. It's about building consistency to give the team a chance every night, whether that's a 6-5 win or a 1-0 win. We just want to build consistency to get wins, and I hope to reach out to them soon and get a feeling of where they're at through all this craziness of COVID, and kind of just start to dial in on where they feel they're at and where I do, and what we can do to make a really good game plan going forward.
Give our Iowa Wild fans a teammate or a coach who really helped you along the way. I'm sure there's plenty, but I'm probably pretty sure at some point in your career, you look back at a battery mate, a guy you tended net with, or a goalie coach or a head coach, maybe for that matter, that really helped you a lot.
Yeah, that's a tough question. There's so many names that pop in my mind. So my head coach I had in Oklahoma City, Todd Nelson, he's the assistant in Dallas. He had such a big impact on not only the way you play the game, but how you approach it. And he came from a team first mentality that it was more important that the team was together and really strongly bonded versus the individual skill and all of that. And he did that by making sure everyone was included, and he made the game fun. He wanted you to have fun when you came to the rink, and that really brought the whole team together. So I've really stuck with me since those times about 7 years ago. We need as coaches to make the game fun, but if you have a good team atmosphere, it gets you through those hard times so much easier than they would be. And then as far as on the goalie side of things, I had Dustin Schwartz a little bit in Edmonton, and he just had a big impact on not only the philosophy and the technique, but how to really build relationships with your goalies to get that foundation of trust. So I really appreciate working with him. And my first goalie coach, Mike Valley, he was instrumental in the start of my career, on the mental side even. He really helped you dial in to stay calm and collected through a lot of different situations. And so I owe it a lot to him as well.
Chatting with Richard Bachman here, the new Iowa Wild goaltending coach, 11 pro seasons, and the technology and the resources for goalies and players have changed immensely, from scouting goalies so that the guys shooting on you have a better advantage, to understanding shooters' tendencies and the shootouts and video. Can you try and sum up somehow just the jump in technology and trends and just information that's available for goaltenders today?
Yeah, it's incredible. It starts even in the off season with the way goalies train. 10, 15 years ago, it wasn't like it is now. You kind of just worked out. Everyone's trying to just get super strong. Now it's single leg stuff, working on our groins, hips, our maintenance, the doing functional training, all different stuff. So even in the off season, it's really been a lot more specific as of late, which I think does help, and it makes you quicker in certain areas and hopefully more durable for a longer career. And then the video side is drastically different. You have so much available to you at all times, and these teams are doing such an amazing job, especially with the video coaches. If you need something, you have it super quick. It's right at your fingertips. You can get it sent to you while you're sitting in the hotel room. So that part's really nice. Some guys like it more than others. And then one area I really like for the goalies especially is moving into more of the analytics side. And it doesn't have to be so much for the coaching. You can get a lot of good information, even on for the overall team game. But it puts different numbers in play besides just your goals against average and your save percentage. So if a team's given up a ton of grade A's and you might have a lower save percentage, that'll be reflected on the analytics side, where you can be like, all right, my save percentage is low in these grade A spots, but everything else is working well. It just gives you a bigger picture on where they're at, or your high save percentage, your high grade A shots. You might have a great save percentage, but you're letting in low danger shots. That's something that I think can help address and make corrections on a little easier than just saying, oh, we need to work on this. So it puts some numbers to different situations, which I think is really helpful.
You live in Denver now. You spent time in college at CC, Colorado College, so you know that area well. Born in Utah, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
But tell our fans a little bit about family life for you now.
Yeah, things are good. I'm just south of Denver here. Been here for almost 20 years now, I guess. It's crazy how fast that goes. But so we call Denver home. It's our home base. I have 2 kids. I got a 5-year-old boy. He's just starting U8, like mite hockey this year. So he's really excited about that. And then I have a 3-year-old daughter who basically runs the entire house. And she wants to be a future dancer just like her mother was. So those 2 keep us busy. And, we try and enjoy the outdoors and all that Colorado has to offer, but they've been great, and they're such a good support system for me. even when I was leaving the playing side, I asked my kids, I was like, you guys okay moving around some more? And my son was like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, so do you want dad to be a player or a coach? He goes, you should be a player. You sit on the bench too much. So he's brutally honest, but I appreciate it and love him for it. So everyone's excited to get this side going, and those 2 keep us extremely busy and crazy.
All right, before we let you go, again, Richard Bachman, Iowa Wild goaltending coach here, joining us today. A couple of quick hits for you. Your favorite off-season hobby?
Ooh, favorite off-season hobby. I would say hiking or mountain biking.
How about your favorite road trip snack?
Peanut M&Ms.
A lot of bus rides with them?
Not too many. I tried to keep it tight back in the playing days. Probably have a few more now that I'm done with that.
Favorite concert you've ever been to?
Oh, I saw, let me think, Kip Moore, Justin Moore, and Eric Church in Frisco, Texas. So it was like 3,000 people in the stands before they all blew up and got big, and they just rocked the place. It was unbelievable.
Favorite place to visit?
Favorite place to visit? I do love the beach, so I'd say Mexico. But I also, close to my heart is going up to the mountains. Try and make a trip or 2 every summer to get up and get away and just enjoy the peace and quiet up there.
And lastly, you spent time in the NHL with Dallas, the team that drafted you, with Vancouver. I'm forgetting one, of course, on the spot, which is embarrassing.
That's all good.
Edmonton,
Yep.
sorry. Your favorite NHL moment?
Second full start. I'll just group it into one moment. My first NHL real start, Staples Center. We got a 2-1 win. So first career win, Staples Center. Place was rocking. It was awesome just to play there. So much amazing sporting moments have happened there. And then we followed it up. I think it was like 4 nights later in Madison Square Garden, 1-0 win, shutout in the Garden. So it was a pretty surreal moment, just a pretty amazing time, and it's one I look back to quite a bit.
Who had the one goal?
For us?
Yeah.
Oh, that is a great question.
I didn't look it up, so I don't know.
I want to say Trevor Daley for some reason.
Okay.
We'll see.
Send him a Christmas card.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Thanks for doing this.
Of course.
Looking forward to getting you and the family to Des Moines here shortly. And again, congratulations on the new job, Iowa Wild goaltending coach Richard Bachman. Thanks again.
Yeah, thank you. Look forward to meeting you guys and everyone else. So thanks a lot.
All right, Wild fans, stay safe, keep it real. Till next time. Take care.